Ah yes, the American abroad. It always starts the same way. Excitement, confidence, maybe a little caffeine from the airport Starbucks still kicking in. Everything feels familiar enough, until suddenly it doesn't. Someone says something that isn't English, and time just stops. The smile freezes, the brain hits pause, and there's this half second where reality glitches. You can almost see the confusion behind their eyes. What language was that, and why wasn't it English? At first, it's curiosity. Maybe they tilt their head, laugh nervously, say, "Oh, sorry, what?" as if that'll somehow make the other person switch to English by instinct. But when that doesn't happen, panic creeps in. They look around for help. Maybe a bilingual friend, a kind stranger, or a sign with English subtitles, anything, but the world just keeps talking in that other language, completely unconcerned that the American doesn't understand. They try to decode it, like it's a puzzle. Every sound becomes a clue. Did she just say tourist? Oh no, she's talking about me. They become hyper-convinced every laugh nearby is about them. A couple of locals are chatting over coffee. Must be gossip about how clueless they look. The paranoia sets in fast. But then comes the brave attempt, the classic language mashup moment. Armed with a few words remembered from high school or a quick Google Translate search, they go for it. Buongiorno, gracias, cappuccino, please you. It's chaotic, but also kind of impressive. There's effort, at least the hand gestures are huge. The accent is questionable, and somehow they think adding random vowels makes things sound more European. It's linguistic improv at its finest. Eventually, something clicks. The local smiles, nods, brings them what they wanted. Success. They beam like they just solved world peace. See, we communicated. And honestly, they kind of did. It might not have been perfect grammar, but it was human. Then comes the menu moment. They open it, see a wall of words they can't read, and immediately search for the only safe option. Pizza. Pizza is the anchor, the international symbol of comfort. If there's pizza, there's hope. They find it, breathe a sigh of relief, and act like they just found a piece of America in the wild. But as soon as the waiter asks, "Piccola o grande," everything resets. The panic returns. The guessing game begins again. The volume rises. Maybe if they say it louder, it'll magically translate. Pizza one, please. Still no luck. So they start pointing. The universal tourist gesture. Pointing works everywhere. It's the great equalizer. And sure enough, it works here too. Food arrives, smiles all around, crisis averted. In that moment, it doesn't matter that they butchered every word or mixed up 3 different languages in one sentence. There's laughter, there's warmth, and somehow it all works out. Because even when Americans have no idea what's being said, they still manage to make it an adventure. And that's the charm, a little confusion, a lot of enthusiasm, and a story they'll definitely tell back home about how they totally spoke Italian once. It usually happens on day 2. The American abroad has survived the language barrier, conquered the foreign cafe menu, and now walks the streets with the confidence of someone who believes they've figured out Europe. They've got the outfit, the camera, the enthusiasm, and in their mind, they're basically a local now, until it's time to pay. They walk into a shop, grab a souvenir, maybe a t-shirt that says "Ciao, Bella," and head to the counter. They hand over a crisp $20 bill, the same one they proudly withdrew from an ATM back home, just in case. The cashier looks down at it, confused, then back up, equally confused. And that's when the realization hits. This isn't America anymore. There's that awkward pause. The smile fades a little. The American blinks, waiting for the cashier to take the money anyway, because, well, it's money. It's got a president on it. It's green. It's universal. Right. Wrong. The cashier gently shakes their head, maybe points to a little sign that says "No asti." And there it is again, that familiar mix of disbelief and mild panic. "You mean, you don't take dollars?" They say it as if it's a personal insult. The poor cashier tries to explain, different country, different currency, but the American looks at their wallet like it's betrayed them. Next comes the desperate solution phase. "Okay, do you take card?" Of course. The card reader suddenly refuses to cooperate. The chip won't read. The tap doesn't work. The pin makes no sense. The American starts pressing buttons like they're defusing a bomb. People in line are waiting, politely but silently judging. The heat rises. The sweat starts. Finally, a kind local steps in, offering to translate. The American is instantly grateful. overly grateful. "Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm so sorry. This never happens at home." They laugh nervously, as if the entire financial system should apologize for not being in US dollars. And when they finally get it sorted, when the card works or they swap the dollars at a kiosk, it becomes a story of triumph. "Yeah, I had to convert my money and everything," they'll tell their friends later, as if they just navigated Wall Street. But the funny part is, even after that little embarrassment, they still try again somewhere else. Another shop, another dollar bill. Hope springs eternal. Maybe this one takes it. Spoiler, they don't. Eventually, they learn. They start carrying the local currency awkwardly at first, flipping through coins and notes like they're deciphering ancient scrolls. "Wait, how much is this worth again?" They hand over way too much, get a handful of change back, and feel proud anyway. But then, when they finally start feeling comfortable with euros, or pounds, or yen, when they finally stop trying to pay for gelato with George Washington, that's when the trip ends. Back at the airport, the cashier at the duty-free shop smiles and says, "We take dollars." And for the first time ever, the American sighs in relief. Finally, they say, like they just made it home. Because for them, travel is a series of lessons, sometimes about culture, sometimes about language, but always about realizing that the rest of the world doesn't bend to American logic. And that's the beauty of it. Every awkward moment, every misunderstanding, every wait, you don't take this, it's all part of the journey. It usually starts innocently, a simple thirst, a casual craving for something familiar. The American abroad walks into a restaurant, spots a Coke on the menu, and suddenly, everything feels right again. A taste of home, a comfort zone in a sea of confusion. They order it confidently. "One Coke, please." The waiter nods, brings it over, and it's perfect. Cold, bubbly, sweet, the cure for all travel exhaustion. They take a sip, sigh in relief, lean back, and think, yeah, this place isn't so different after all. Then, 10 minutes later, it happens. The glass is empty. They glance around, expecting no, trusting that a friendly waiter will appear with another one, because that's how it works. That's the system. Refills just happen. It's a birthright. But the waiter doesn't come. The minutes pass. The ice melts. Confusion sets in. The American frowns, lifts the empty glass a little, makes eye contact. Nothing. The waiter smiles politely, then walks away. That's when the doubt begins to creep in. They whisper to their friend, "Do you think they forgot the refill?" The friend, slightly more aware of the world, says quietly, "I don't think they do refills here." The look on the American's face is pure disbelief. "Wait, what do you mean they don't do refills? Like, at all?" "Nope." "So, if I want more Coke, I have to buy another one?" "Yep." There's silence, a kind of existential silence. You can almost hear the record scratch. It's not about the money, it's about the principle. Refills are supposed to be endless, like freedom, or Wi-Fi at Starbucks. The American looks at the glass again, at the tiny half-melted ice cubes, as if they'd been personally betrayed by the beverage industry.